Wow, wow, wow. What a game of football we've just witnessed. That is, for me, that might be the greatest Afcon final I've ever watched in my entire life. That game had everything you want out of a game. Big chances, crunching tackles, suspense, drama. That was one of the most dramatic incidents, dramatic moments I've ever seen in an AFCON in my entire. I can't even think of a moment that can compare to what I saw at the end of regular time in that match. What a victory for Senegal. What a victory for the Senegalese team. What a victory for Sadio. What a victory for Pape Gueye. What a victory for Edouard Mendy. What a game of football I have just witnessed. That was incredible. Beyond 9 out of 10 game. One of the greatest finals I've ever watched in my entire life. I'm trying to find ways to catch my breath to talk about this game, but what a game we have just watched. First of all, congratulations to Senegal. What a performance from them from start to finish. That wasn't a game where they just smashed and grabbed. That wasn't a game where they got lucky. They rode their luck. They took their chance. No, they played an exceptional game from start to finish. But that first half genuinely had me worried. I was genuinely worried because Senegal had 3 extremely quality chances to take the lead in that first half. And I was thinking to myself, if you don't take the lead in the first half, Morocco they're gonna wake up and they're gonna catch you in the second half. The first chance, great corner, Pape Gueye, who's been a goal-scoring midfielder, scoring goals in La Liga. Beautiful chance at the back post to head his team up 1-0. Great save from Bono, Bono, by the way, exceptional in this match. Bono, when it comes to wearing that shirt from Morocco, is an exceptional keeper. He's an exceptional keeper regardless. But when he wears that Morocco kit, he's on a different level. Great save from him. But then late in the first half, I think Iliman Ndiaye goes off for a little injury, right? He goes off. He comes back on, and as he comes back on, he's unmarked on the right-hand side for Senegal. He runs in, great ball from Nicholas Jackson. He runs in behind. He's through on goal one-on-one with Bono. Bono makes a great save with his leg. Then again, they have a great opportunity. The ball falls to Lamine Camara at the edge of the box. He has Pape Gueye and he has Sadio Mane on his left-hand side, and he doesn't see them. If he just swings the ball one more 5 yards, one of them has a free chance at goal, and he shoots it into the. It gets blocked, and it's 0 at halftime. I think to myself, Morocco gonna wake up in that second half, and they're going to turn it up. They're going to find a way to recover this, and play better in the second half. And you know what? In some ways, they did, right? They have a glaring opportunity with El Kabi. Terrible miss. Great ball. I think it's from, is it Hakimi or whoever it is? El Kanous. And he opens his foot a little bit too much. But that wasn't even, all that was great. But what really made this game even better was the very end of the game. Extra at a time, Senegal's goal should have stood. I don't know what anybody else is gonna say about it, but Senegal's goal should have stood. Sek and Hakimi, they make the same movements at each other. Sek is just a lot stronger. Hakimi dives to the floor, comes off the post. Manasseh heads it in, and they call it a foul on Sek. That is not a foul. That is one of the weakest calls, and there have been weak calls all tournament long supporting Morocco in this tournament. I'm not afraid to say it. A lot of the calls in this tournament, especially in that semifinal against Nigeria, match against Mali earlier in the tournament, they've been getting questionable calls all tournament, and that was one of them. But okay, fine. Say it's not a goal. Call a foul on Sek, whatever it is. Then the fact that you allow Morocco to get a penalty for what Haj Malik Diouf does to Brahim Diaz was an absolute joke, an absolute farce, if you ask me, because Brahim's never gets to that ball, and he just falls to the ground. The Moroccan players have been falling to the ground at will, no matter whenever they have opportunity. Every 50-50, they fall to the ground, they get the call, and they get that penalty, and that was an absolute joke. The Senegalese fans go crazy. I think some of them are smashing chairs, or they're going crazy in the stadium. Senegalese players are going to the locker room. I went to the dressing room. They're upset. Sadio Mane is the only guy just staying out, talking to everybody, trying to figure out what's going on. I don't know if Senegal was threatened. You're gonna miss the World Cup. You're gonna be banned from the World Cup if you don't come back out for the penalty. If you're gonna give you a heavy fine. Your fans are gonna be. I don't know what was being said to Sadio Mane or said to the head coach of Senegal. I don't know what was being said, but that was an insane 30 minutes of just drama. Because I was generally thinking to myself, are Senegalese players going to come out for this penalty? Are they going to come out to finish this game? Are they going to actually boycott this penalty being given? Are they actually going to leave the game? Because honestly, I would have supported it. I would have supported it because what was happening and what's been happening all tournament with these referees and with these calls has been an absolute joke. I could not believe some of the calls that I was seeing all throughout the tournament, but especially in these last two stages against Nigeria and against Senegal, it was a joke to me. So I completely stand with the Senegalese players for whatever they were feeling at that moment. I don't know if it was rage, they were boycotting, they were angry, whatever it was. I fully support what they were doing in that moment. But you know what? Sadio Mane, being the leader that he is, being the absolute legend that he is, legend of the game, one of the greatest African players ever, for me, the greatest Senegalese player ever. For him to stand there, his leadership he showed in that moment, get his teammates back out, motivate the lads, and then comes the penalty. And I said it in my group chat, I said, I desperately hope that Brahim Diaz takes this penalty and he misses, because he absolutely deserves that. He deserves that to happen to him because of, first of all, the petulant behavior all throughout the tournament, the diving, the falling over, the yelling at the referees, the crying attitude. I've been sick of it. I hate when players behave like that. I cannot stand it one bit. You might call it bias, you might call it whatever it is. I just do not like when players play act and do all kind of the Vinicius Junior mode of play. And it makes sense because he's a Madrid player. That kind of behavior, I cannot stand it. So I wanted more than anything for him to take that penalty and Edouard Mendy to save it. And wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't, as luck, as fate, whatever you want to call it, would have it, he takes the penalty, and what an absolute joke of a penalty that was. That is one of the worst penalties I've ever seen in a final in my entire life. To win your nation their first trophy in 50 years, and I can't even call that a Panenka. That was such a joke of a penalty. And Mendy, I think he was just shocked. He was genuinely shocked at his luck. He could not believe that is what Brahim Diaz did to win the game. That's what he did to win the game. He was absolutely shocked that it was such an easy save. And then we go to extra time. The manager of Morocco is going crazy at Brahim Diaz. You could see it on his face. It looked like a man that his soul was just ripped out of his body. He looked like he was just sorry. And it couldn't have happened to a better person. It could not have happened to a better person for me. It was pure enjoyment seeing that happen to him specifically. If it was Hakimi, I would have felt bad for Hakimi. If it was Nesiri, if it was, any one of these guys that I actually respect them as a footballer, I would have actually felt kind of bad for them. But for it to happen to him, I loved it. Extra time happens, and I'm thinking to myself, this has to galvanize the Senegalese team. This has to motivate them to go on and win this game. This is like the exact moment the Senegalese players needed. That miss was the exact moment they needed to galvanize them throughout extra time. And wouldn't you know it, the player that I've been so high on for almost 10 months now, right? Pape Gueye, watching my Villarreal, I love the midfielders like that, box to box, strong in the tackle, great strike on him, physical, also technically gifted. I love Pape Gueye as a player so much, and for him to score that goal off balance, driving through the midfield like as he usually does, off balance, gets that strike into the postage stamp where Bono cannot save it. What a freaking goal that was, and I'm so happy that it was either him or Sadio Mane to get the winner. One of the two are my favorite players for Senegal. I wanted one of them to get it. I'm so glad that it was Pape Gueye that got that goal. He's deserved it. He's been exceptional this entire tournament. Usually in that midfield, it's, they'll bring in Kamara, they'll bring in Sarr, Matar Sarr, they'll bring in, other guys, right? But I'm glad Habib Diarra. Sorry, that's what I was thinking of. But I'm glad he's been the kind of the mainstay alongside Idrissa Gana Gueye in that midfield. He's been exceptional all tournament, and he gets the game-winning goal. Obviously, Senegal has some chances. Mbaye, what a run from him! I don't know if you guys remember this, but towards the second half of the extra time, Mbaye drives to like 4 or 5 Moroccan players, and maybe his youthful exuberance, maybe one of my friends said nobody's passing that ball, but he gets in a great position, and similar with Lamine Camara in the first half. If he just looks to his left, he has 2 players in a perfect position to seal the game. But obviously, after he just dribbled 5 players, you're 17, 18 years old, you're gonna take that shot for yourself. Great ball from Hakimi, and that is the game. Senegal win the game 1-0 after extra time. And I look back at everything that happened in the game. I look back at the totality of chances. And to be honest, I think Senegal edged it in the chances. I think they fully deserve to win this game. Not even ignoring all the missed chances, their disallowed goal should have stood. That penalty shouldn't have been a penalty. So at the end of the day, I think justice is served. The Lions win Afcon. I think this is second Afcon in the last 4 tournaments. Exceptional from the Senegalese national team, and not just every single player performed today. Every single Nicolas Jackson, no, he didn't score, but his link-up play exceptional. Sadio Mane, every facet of his game today was exceptional. The defensive side of the game, helping out Hadji Malik Diouf, helping Pape Gueye on the left-hand side of that midfield. He was always there. The energy at 33 years old to still continue pushing all the way to extra time is incredible. The things this guy has done for his nation, the lengths he will go to for his nation is exceptional. He's an exceptional, legendary player for all of Africa, but especially for Senegal. And then Edouard Mendy. Every time, honestly, Bono and Mendy, both of them, when it comes time to show up for their countries, exceptional keepers, great keepers. Exceptional performance from the both of them, but especially Mendy saving that penalty and keeping his country in the game. What a performance from him. Gana Gueye in the midfield, along with Pape Gueye in the midfield, they were exceptional. It's just an exceptional performance from the Senegalese team. And Mamadou Sarr, wow, what a great performance from him. Because, Mr. Koulibaly, captain of the team, huge miss. He didn't really feel that miss, and that's a great credit to what Sarr did in that back line as well. Niakite as well, great performance. Just a great performance all throughout. Exceptional from this Senegalese team, and a fully deserved win in this finals for me. And for that, they are the kings of Africa once again. What a performance from Senegal. Morocco, it's unfortunate. At the end of the day, host nations very rarely win this tournament. And when I look back at it, they weren't that amazing throughout the tournament, right? They weren't that incredible throughout the totality of the tournament, right? They won games. They didn't concede. I think that was the first goal they've conceded in open play for, I don't know, a year or so. It's been a while, right? So they weren't exceptionally great throughout every single game of the tournament. They had moments. Brahim Diaz had moments. But in the last 2 games, you really see that they still have another level to get to. They still have another level to go to as a nation, as a footballing nation. But from where they were from before the World Cup 2022 to where they are now, that's an exceptional leap that they've made as a nation. All facets of the Moroccan football, from the leagues to the players that they've brought up to the national team, they're actually progressing at an extremely high level and a great rate as well. So let's see what they do at the World Cup. They'll definitely be one of the strong African teams at the World Cup, along with Senegal. Credit to them. Great hosts. Great to get to the final. But at the end of the day, I think they were outclassed today by a Senegalese team that they just felt better. They just felt better, more experienced, more aggressive, more like they wanted it more. I'm sure they didn't want it more, but it seemed like they wanted it more. That's how they played. So credit to Senegal, credit to Morocco. You gave us one of the greatest Afcon finals in the history of Afcon. You'll be hard-pressed to find an Afcon final more controversial, more juicy, more dramatic, more entertaining, more just everything than what we just watched right now. Great game, great tournament. Credit to Senegal. Credit to Morocco. Senegal gold, Morocco silver, Nigeria bronze, and I'll see you guys on the next video, the next Afcon tournament. Please, Senegalese fans, Morocco fans, let me know your thoughts in the comments. All fans of Africa, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all very, very soon. Peace out.